Teachings of the Kojiki. Gazing at the inner God. What is God? For the ancient Japanese people, God was not a separated existence in a distant world. God dwells in the mountain. God flows in the river. God blows in the wind. Paper burns in the fire. All of nature has life. The heart that reveres each of these is the source of the feeling of knowing God. However, the Kojiki goes beyond that. I know the true God are not only about worshiping the outer nature. It teaches us to notice the divinity that resides within us. People tend to seek power from the outside. We try to revere distant beings. It conveys that before anything else, it is important to quietly look into one's heart, to know the appearance of God, and noticing the divinity within oneself before worshiping others. Reflect on yourself. This word means, despite being spoken of in ancient times, it resonates vividly even for us living in the present. The importance of inner cultivation. Modern society is inundated with rapidly changing information. Our hearts tend to turn outward, shaken by evaluations on social media or words from others. There are also times when we easily lose sight of ourselves. It is precisely during such times the teachings of the beggar support us. Before worshiping others, reflect on yourself. In other words, first, it is important to reflect on oneself, and honestly confronting our own weaknesses and doubts, and it is to realize the quiet light that lies within. That is, it is directly connected to knowing God. Divinity is not far away, close by. God is not merely a being residing above the clouds or in the heavens. When you smile, when reaching out a hand to someone, when you muster the courage to take a step forward, divinity manifests within those actions. The sensibility of the 8 million gods cherished by the Japanese since ancient times. It is the idea that there is sacredness in all things. The closest subject is oneself. In other words, to value one's own heart. It is the same as revering God. The night before, the resonance with the way of the samurai, the teachings of the Kojiki, it deeply resonates with the thoughts of later eras. Zen training is before seeking knowledge or teachings from outside. It values quietly observing one's own heart. Moreover, the samurai would clarify their minds before cutting down enemies. Calming the disturbances of the heart is, they understood it as the key to correct actions. In other words, the teaching conveyed by the Kojiki is to become aware of the inner new stars. It is also the very spirit that flows at the root of Japanese culture. Messages to the modern age. We experience it every day. We often look for answers outside. Words of self-improvement. There may be times when we seek answers from others' opinions or societal values. However, the true answers are already within yourself. The words of the Kojiki are, it gently yet sternly reminds us of that. To know God means, not about pursuing external idols. It is about discovering the light within yourself. Just having this awareness, our way of life will change significantly. It is when we notice that divinity, when basking in the morning sun, the moment when the heart becomes pure. Seeing someone smile, the moment your heart warms. After overcoming failures and suffering, the moment you feel a sense of pride in yourself. It is precisely such small moments. It is the time when the new star peeks out. To know God means, it is not a journey to find distant beings, but it is about finding the light that resides in our everyday moments. With that perspective, the world begins to look completely different. The words I want to convey to the world. The Kojiki is not only Japan's oldest story. It holds universal wisdom for humanity. Before relying on the outside, first reflect on yourself. By reflecting on oneself, respecting others, respecting nature, a path to harmonize with the world opens. It is a message that transcends religion and nations. That is why, that for us living in the present, it is very significant to listen again to the voice of the Kojiki. To know the appearance of God, noticing the divinity within oneself. Before worshiping the outside, reflect on yourself. This word continues to shine brightly even after more than 1,000 years. It continues to stay by our side. The ancient wisdom of Japan quietly illuminates your heart as you live today. May it support you. We are sending love from Japan. May today also be a wonderful day.